Hey guys, hope everything's going well. You guys know the drill. If you like my video, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. Alright, this is probably the third time that I'm doing this video, but hopefully I'm going to upload this one. Alright, so we had this one comment on my channel. This individual, he was polite. He just said he doesn't believe in my theory that the funny money is leading to the increase in sports cards, has created this boom in sports cards. I think that's part of the reason, the funny money, but I'll get into it. And he said that, in 2018, that Gary Vee and other individuals were starting to get back in the sports card market. And basically, it's a cycle thing, every 25, 30 years, you see cyclical changes in the market. People get in, they get out, and the next generation, they get in, they get out, so on. It continues. And, I look at the Federal Reserve and I have looked at what they've done since 2009. They've printed money. They've increased the money supply, or they've artificially increased the money supply. And this has created, in my opinion, one of the reasons why the sports card market has steadily gone up. In 2009, for instance, or 2008, the index went up fourfold, PWCC index, compared to the S&P. S&P probably doubled from that range. And this is the end of 2020. And I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, so sophisticated investors were piling into sports cards and they made more than the S&P 500. And my reasoning is, the funny money from the Fed, it goes into places. It went into fine art. It went into sports cards. And it also went into the stock market. And it went into precious metals as well, to a certain extent, and Bitcoin. And, let's look at from 2016. 2016, you started to see people go more into modern than vintage. The market was heavily biased towards vintage until 2016, when the people that were a little older than me, they started to reinvest in sports cards again. That's when modern sports cards started to pick up based on the PWCC data around that time frame, 2016, 2017. And, I just printed this money supply graph from the Federal Reserve. They don't have this money supply graph anymore. They changed it to like a M2 MSL or whatever the hell it is. Anyways, if you look at this, you see a steady increase. This is from 2016 about. I couldn't get it from 2009 printing it out, so I just used this instead. You see this steady increase from 2016, right? It just goes up steadily, surely but steadily. And, you saw people investing in sports cards. I noticed in 2018, people were heavily investing in Jeters because in anticipation of his Hall of Fame induction in 2020. And, people made good money on that. I made money on Jeter cards. I wish I held. I didn't expect this boom that we saw the past year. Now, let's look at it from March of last year to about February of this year. The old way of looking at money supply from the Federal Reserve. Look at this increase. Have you seen that type of increase over here? I don't see anything. So what I'm trying to say is that, because of all this monopoly money, it had to go somewhere. It went into the stock market. It went into some real estate. People were moving out of the cities, going to the suburbs. Those prices are going up. Houses in the suburb because of, certain situations in the city. People don't want to live there anymore. The jobs, you're working from home. So what's the point of living in the city? So let's just look at this, huge increase. Sports were canceled for a few months last year. In addition, you couldn't go to the bars in a lot of places. Chicagoland, couldn't go to the bars until the summer, and that was limited, And, just look. If you print all this monopoly money, it's going somewhere. So that's why I keep on saying, the funny money is the lead driver in the past year for the sports card market, or one of the main drivers. We were also stuck at home. They gave us stimulus checks, still part of the increase in money supply. But, you know, we wanted to invest in things or collect things that made us feel good. And then people realized they could make money off of this, like big money. So this is the big reason, you know, you've seen the craziness in the sports card market. And eventually, this will correct. You're not going to see this huge money supply increase year after year after year. And we're going to see a contraction probably in the government spending. We may see a decrease in the level of the increase of the money supply, meaning that money supply won't increase at the same rate that it is. And therefore, I believe we're going to have a temporary, not temporary, we're going to see some crazy downside action in the price of cards. And in my opinion, that's going to be a great buying opportunity. People are acting right now like it's a buyer's market. In my opinion, maybe for some cards, but for the most part, it's not. Unless if it's a scarce card that's going to be high in demand in the future. Right now, in my opinion, it's a seller's market. And this money supply, like I said, is not going to increase the way that it did. So, yeah, you know, I'm very opinionated on this money supply and the way in looking at markets. You know, once again, I trade aggressively the options market, the stock market, mining stocks. And, you know, I just follow this stuff very closely. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Remember, smash the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.